An electric night in Charlotte where a crucial piece of the playoff puzzle will be earned and the Dr. Pepper ACC Championship will be won. The Carolina Tar Heels and the Clemson Tigers, the home of the Carolina Panthers here, equidistant from the two campuses as the Tar Heels try for their first ACC title in 35 years, and #1 Clemson tries to punch its ticket for the Final Four. And welcome, Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit. This is a de facto quarterfinal playoff game from Clemson's perspective. Oklahoma, Alabama are safe.
As far as we know, they're in. Let's just assume those two are in. Yeah.
Big Ten champ gets one, and Clemson believes they will hold the top seed and go to the Orange Bowl if they win. The Heels believe they're not just spoilers. They think if they beat a #1 team for the first time ever, win their first ACC title since '80, they can make the committee rethink things and go from 10 all the way up into the bracket. We'll have to see.
Yeah, and the only potential chaos would be a Clemson loss and a Carolina win. So if you're an Ohio State fan or a Stanford fan, you're paying very close attention to this game tonight.
A lot of offense here tonight. Two very dynamic quarterbacks. Of course, you know all about DeShawn Watson in Clemson.
Well, DeShawn Watson has been one of the great stories, in my opinion, this year in college football. Ability to run and throw. And I think just the command of this offense, you can see he's completing 70% of his passes. Seems to know where to go with the ball before the play even starts, before the ball is snapped. You'll see him tonight have to be able to run the football. It'll be a big key. The good news is it's the healthiest that he's been since his ACL surgery back in December. North Carolina's defense only giving up 20 points a game. They've done a great job of not allowing the big play over top in the pass game. They're going to approach this game tonight the same way, which means DeShawn Watson's running and Wayne Gallman's running will be the key for the Tigers to set up the passing of Watson maybe later.
And avoiding turnovers. They've been turnover prone, have the Clemson Tigers. The Tar Heels lost their opener right here to South Carolina because their dynamic quarterback, Marquise Williams, had a bad game in his hometown. He threw 3 interceptions down in the red zone, 2 in the end zone. But the chemistry built in the offseason allowed him to bounce back. They were 21 zip down to the Yellow Jackets, came back and won. Then they conquered all the emotion in Blacksburg, and Frank Beamer's home farewell won it in overtime. 11-game winning streak coming in, and a very high-powered offense.
Yeah, Marquise Williams has also been a great story, and he probably is pretty spirited tonight to be able to show the rest of the ACC that he, in fact, is maybe the best quarterback in his conference. But to me, watch number 34, Elijah Hood. You'll see some zone read concepts tonight, and when he gets a chance to be able to get to that second, third level, you'll see not only power, but tremendous quickness for his size at 220 pounds. The other thing they do is they go play action off of that look. They try to find some space behind the linebackers, and this is the thing that we've seen a lot of, the explosive play. Look at the arm strength, and he's got the receivers that are long, athletic, with tremendous speed, and Marquise Williams is going to be looking to try to do that. Get the ball downfield, and the style defense that Brent Venables and Clemson plays is they're going to leave you one-on-one. Can you beat them one-on-one? So we're going to have some chances for some big plays, I think, on both sides.
But you'd say this Clemson defense is by far the best Carolina has faced all year. So a real step up in
Not only in the secondary, but also Shaq Lawson up front, the defensive line, much better than anything they've seen.
Tom Rinaldi joins us with Larry Fedora.
Chris, thank you. Coach, you've maintained all week that if you win, you should be in. How have you coached this group to handle this moment?
We've coached them the same way we have every single week. You can't coach any harder. So we've been coaching them the same way all week, and they've handled it the same.
Good luck to you tonight, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tom.
Let's go over to Heather.
Tom, thanks so much. Dabo, you have consistently told me that this team is built for the big stage. What have you seen today that confirms your belief that they're up for the challenge?
We had a great week of preparation. You know, it's the same old for us. The only difference is there's no game next week. So we'll try to play our best 4 quarters of the season tonight.
Leaving it all on the field, Coach. Thank you. Chris, back to you.
Dabo's 100th game as Clemson's head coach. Be who we are is always the mantra, because we are good enough to beat anybody when they just play their game. Carolina won the toss, and they deferred, so Clemson will get the football first.
And after all this build-up since August about who's in, who's out, you talked about it in the open, Chris. We know that Alabama is more than likely in, and Oklahoma, who's not playing today, is in. The Big Ten Championship will decide. And what happens tonight here in Charlotte? Does Clemson get it done to be that 4th team, or does North Carolina potentially kind of mess things up for Clemson and open up a big discussion for not just Carolina, but teams like Stanford and Ohio State?
Nick Weiler to boot it away. C.J. Fuller will hesitate, but then take a knee. So here comes DeShawn Watson, the brilliant sophomore. 3,223 passing yards. He's run for 756. So many ways he hurts defenses.
Yeah, he just, again, has a great feel for this offense. Ran the same offense in high school. So he prepares like a coach. He's basically a coach out on the field for this offense. But his disposition, watch him tonight. He is as calm as you're going to see. Reminds me a lot of Marcus Mariota in his demeanor and his approach last year for Oregon.
That's a high compliment to be compared to Marcus Mariota. It's Wayne Gallman, and their running back gains 10 on first down. Gallman off an 1,145-yard season, back healthy after missing a game 2 games ago.
And remember, this is going to be a big story in this game. Clemson wants to run the football against this style of defense to eventually set up the big play potential in their passing game.
He motions out, so empty backfield on first down. Watson complete to Hunter Renfro in the slot. That play also gains 10 yards, so the Tigers are rolling. They'll actually spot it just short of the line.
They run the football. They stretch you horizontally with their formation, sideline to sideline. They create the vertical seams, and they eventually try to attack into the interior against those linebackers and safeties.
Watson keeps it and crosses midfield. Can they be patient enough, avoid the turnovers and avoid the penalties? That's what Chiswick wants to force this offense to do.
Remember, the former Auburn head coach who led the Tigers to a national championship has been doing this for the defense. Doesn't have the most talented group, but it's a bend but don't break zone. Keep everything in front of you. Let them run the football and then try to squeeze down in the red zone.
Gallman knocked down after a short gain. When the Tigers cross midfield, though, you do have to beware for the potential deep shot. They love to use Watson's deep ball accuracy.
Well, the last 6 weeks, we've had him a couple times, you and I, and early in the year, they were still kind of working on their timing. These last 5 or 6 games, they're as good as anybody you're going to see at getting those shots downfield. It's, again, Carolina's goal is not to give up the explosives in the pass game.
Another short completion. That's Sharon Peak who makes the catch. He doesn't have first down yardage. It'll be 3rd down and about 2.
And the safeties right now are starting to attack down and starting to get involved in that short passing game and in the running game. That's Donnie Miles, number 15, who is involved in that play. He's a sophomore who leads the Carolina defense in tackles, so he is very, very aggressive. They'll play him to the short side, and he comes downhill in a hurry. If he gets too aggressive, that's when they'll try to use a double move and go by him.
And he takes off. Watson looking for that marker, dives out of bounds, and they'll spot him short. He stepped out about 3 yards short. It'll be 4th down.
And they're trying to trap him. They realize on 3rd down, Gene Chiswick is a very smart defensive coach, and he knows what I just said to you. 3rd down, you play man, you better have some linebackers spying, and that time they did. Rashad chases him out of bounds before he picks up that 1st down.
Greg Hugel will try a long field goal, 47-yarder in his streak of making 16 straight. 17 for 17 in ACC games on the line here early. Gets the boot away and just short. So Hugel's streak is snapped, and the Tigers come up empty.
I know it's early, but both coaches said the same thing. When you expect a lot of points, getting a stop is huge, and the Carolina defense steps up with a big stop here on the first series for the Clemson Tigers offense.
Just short of the crossbar. Marquise Williams and Tar Heels go to work when you come back. The Dr. Pepper Spotlight looks at the opening loss for the Tar Heels, a game that really fueled Marquise Williams to get back to Charlotte, to redeem himself. He got a post-game phone call from Peyton Manning to try to raise his spirits after all those picks down in the red zone. He said it was a great phone call. He is eager to redeem himself, and he's off and running on the Tar Heels' first play. And he's a physical runner, slung down, and that's going to cost him 15.
And the horse collar on the back end of the play here. And they love to run Marquise Williams early to just get him to settle in. And see the coach is frustrated with...
After the play, personal foul, defense, number 15, 15-yard penalty, first down.
And TJ Green, who's been outstanding this year. First year as a starter, and he knows this. I mean, it's just he actually with his right hand grabbed on and then tried to let go, but at that point it was way too late. So you pick up big yards and you throw the penalty on top of it.
And he finds Hollins, who's down inside the 25, and now comes Williams back in the game. Backup does his job.
Nice throw. How about Mackenzie Alexander? He likes the challenge, but look at him bailing. He respects the speed of Hollins, who got deep last year on him, and he's bailing. It creates a cushion and a good throw by the backup, Trubinsky.
Now they hand it to Hood. He bangs off tackles and still runs down inside the 15. The 220-pounder shows his strength, and a flag is down.
I think there might be a face mask there on Boulware.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 10. Penalties, half position, automatic first down.
It's the second personal foul on Clemson on this drive, and Boulware got his hand up trying to make the tackle. But how about the toughness of Elijah Hood running right through the tackle from Boulware and a couple other Clemson defenders, kind of setting the tone here early for the Tar Heels in this offense.
This is a 55-yard drive, and most of it has been in penalties.
But Elijah Hood is the best tailback in the country you've never heard of if you're outside of the ACC region. He is a physical back, over 1,000 yards, and exactly what this offense needs to complement their spread attack.
Hood met immediately and slammed down hard by DJ Reader in a very tough Clemson front. This is a #1 team that had to replace all 9 linemen, offense and defense this year. That might be the first team in history that's done that.
Unbelievable.
To be #1?
Yeah, exactly. You do not see that, ever.
Second and goal, ball back on the 12. Williams looking into the end zone and threw it too high. Kendrick Singleton, the senior tight end, was covered by Carter, but you can tell that Marquise is pumped up.
And he also got some pressure, and it forced him to throw the ball without coming through with his technique. You know, he talked about Peyton Manning as a guy. He went to the Manning camp. He works on his fundamentals, but there, because of the pass rush from Clemson, even off the play-action fake, he wasn't able to come through, and that's why the ball sailed on him.
So now one of those red zone situations so important. Third and goal. Williams, pressure, spins away, spins again, delivers into the end zone. No, it bounced. He did well to get the ball off. Brandon Fritz was the tight end in the area, but it's 4th down.
Yeah, they kind of walk around. They don't show where they're coming from. By the way, this is the best 3rd down defense in the country, the Clemson Tigers. And because he kept that play alive, Fritz was open in the back of the end zone. The defense lost him. They had their eyes on the quarterback scrambling, and Clemson's defense catches a break because Williams unable to locate him and put enough on the ball.
Nick Weiler, the long-haired kicker, very reliable inside 40, 14 of 15. A real comeback story. He had a miserable year a year ago, booed by Carolina fans when they made 6 field goals. Total turnaround, his 19th of the year, and the Tar Heels jump on top in Charlotte. Weiler pumped up after his field goal, drives it deep into the end zone as we check out the Chick-fil-A impact players.
Yeah, for Clemson's offense, again, because of the style of defense you'll see from Carolina, they got to be able to run the ball with Wayne Gallman and DeShawn Watson. And then you're going to try to see the ball thrown downfield vertically. We saw Deion Kane. They took a shot earlier. They'll continue to look for those opportunities. Donnie Miles has already been involved in run support, very aggressive. And MJ Stewart, I wish we got these in before the game started. MJ Stewart, number 6, you saw him involved on that quick pass. He got off of a couple blocks. He's their best defensive back. He's got to have a big night tonight as well.
Clemson moved it 45 yards their first possession before missing the field goal. And now Watson tries to dart up the middle but can't escape. No gain. They're very aware of the quarterback run. It's been a bigger and bigger part of the offense late in the season.
But if that front 4 and those 2 linebackers who are dedicated to stopping the run tonight have success like that, that's going to make it very tough because Clemson has to be able to run the ball against 4 down linemen and just 2 linebackers.
Watson on 2nd and 9. Again, a short completion, and Pete makes the catch along across the 45. It will be just enough for a first down. That's Jordan Leggett, the tight end.
And that's the one area that Rashad gets challenged because of his size. You know, he last year played in a very different defense, a 4-2-5, and would rush the quarterback. You put him out in space, and at 6'2", 235, it's a little bit tougher. That's a matchup that Leggett can win.
DeShawn 5 of 6, but no long completions. We'll take another downfield shot, jump ball. Scott's got it against Malik Simmons, and that is the first big play for the Tigers.
Very few quarterbacks from the right hash will attack the field like this. Artavius Scott gets downfield. Because Simmons was beaten so badly at the beginning of the route, it forced him to come back, and he lost the football.
Playing at warp speed, but Gallman is hitting the backfield as Rashad came flying in.
Well, Artavius Scott, who's been playing through some injuries, got behind Simmons, and the ball was underthrown. How many times do we see on our broadcast alone when the ball gets underthrown on the deep ball, the receiver's got his head back and he sees it, he's fighting to get back to the ball, and Simmons, because he was beaten at the line of scrimmage, has no idea where the football is, and that time that was a great adjustment by Artavius Scott to set up this scoring opportunity.
But a big tackle for loss on first down by Rashad. Backs him up 2nd and 15. Watson flips it short. Gallman walks in. When Gallman caught it, you didn't think he was headed for the end zone, but he just kept creating space, and there was no one in front of him.
Well, there was man-to-man coverage underneath. I just talked about, and you talked about Rashad and how much he's improved, and then Leggett made a catch, and I said the one area that he can get into trouble is in coverage. And they get a matchup with Wayne Gallman, their starting tailback, against a linebacker at about 235 pounds. He can't stay with his speed. An easy man-to-man read for DeShawn Watson and for the touchdown.
It made a change at the PAT. Emmon Lacob, who was suspended the first 3 games, a veteran kicker, will now take over because Hugel's missed 5 of them this year.
Chris, there's Scott adjusting back. What a catch to set up the opportunity. And then Watson gets Wayne Gallman. Watch him, number 9, right in the middle, cuts out, and look at Rashad trying to stay with him. Just doesn't quite have the wheels to be able to stay with Wayne Gallman. And now you start to see this Clemson offense that we're used to seeing all year.
Back to the Dr. Pepper ACC Championship game. Tigers answer the Tar Heels field goal with an 8-play, 75-yard drive. Watson to Gallman for the touchdown. Carolina's 2nd possession coming up. Lacob taking over for the PATs, also does the kicking off for Clemson. And this is T.J. Logan. Logan has some space. A dangerous looking return out across the 35. The kicker involved on the tackle.
Both defenses playing a little bit better than at least I anticipated. I thought there was a chance for these 2 quarterbacks and offenses to really put points up.
Williams chased immediately. Stays alive and flips it to a wide open T.J. Logan. The running back has a block, has space, has a touchdown. 46 yards, his first touchdown reception of the season.
Well, they played man-to-man. They brought the blitz. The blitz came from the right. The safety that time, T.J. Green, but he missed him. How about Marquise Williams buying time with his feet, and nobody accounted for T.J. Logan coming out of the backfield. He got lost. They thought he was in the block. Nobody picked him up, Chris.
It's a gimmick play as the punter. They go for 2 on the rollout and don't get it. Mangili is the punter and the holder on the PATs, and Fedora loves the trickery on the special teams plays. That one didn't work.
No, and you see the blitz off to our left. The quarterback's right. He makes him miss, buys time, and then recognizes they get man-to-man, but nobody picked up Logan. The middle linebacker, B.J. Goodson, number 44, should have, but he did not account for him. It looked like Logan was just in the block. And how about the recognition there by the senior? Well, he wasn't even in the play, wasn't even in his route recognition. He comes off, is able to recognize him because he buys enough time that he's all alone. And we all know with T.J. Logan, you get him out in the open field, he's going to be able to take it all the way to the end zone.
C.J. Fuller. Some hard hits. Gets out across the 20-yard line. So it's the Tigers, and Gallman knocked down. Good job by the offenses answering the opponent's scores in this first quarter. That'll be the final play of the quarter. Tigers have rarely trailed all season, less than 48 minutes, but they are behind by 2 after quarter number 1. Dr. Pepper ACC Championship game, part of Dr. Pepper Championship week. Kirk, what do you think the Clemson crowd ratio in this place is about? You say
65-35?
70-30?
Yeah. A lot of
sellout for a couple of weeks. Watson has a convoy of blockers into the secondary, into Carolina territory, sliding down at the 44.
Watch him follow the right guard. Crowder's coming around. Also the running back, Wayne Gallman. Crowder's nobody to block. Look at the big fella, 20 yards downfield. Finally, he's able to get a little bit of Donnie Miles. But there's the acceleration and the speed. Such a different look from Watson the second half of the season with that healthy knee and the speed that he has.
33-yard run. DeShawn rolls away from the pressure and bounces the ball incomplete.
And right now with Stewart out of the game, mentioned Marquise goes in to the corner spot to the outside, but when they go nickel, we've been seeing Stewart move to the inside, and so now you have a new guy in Hughes playing a new position, but also 11 now Simmons goes from playing that spot, the corner, now into the nickel. So you lose one guy, but you affect 2 players in that secondary. That's how much Stewart means to this defense.
With Sam Smiley, the senior safety out, they're already shorthanded. He was a key loss for the Tar Heels in this game. Watson airmails the ball way over Scott's head, and he is slow to get up as Hughes, the freshman, was in there defending.
And the blitz that time, they didn't get the sack, but they pushed Wayne Gallman right back into him. You'll see Rashad coming right here and pushes him right into the face of DeShawn Watson. That is what affected the accuracy. Watch him get right into the face right there, unable to follow through. That was a great blitz that time by Rashad. Shows you the power that he has by running over Wayne Gallman.
3rd and 10.
And they come again with the 2 outside linebackers coming on the outside.
Tigers pick it up. Watson delivers, but it's short of first down yardage. Ray McLeod, the true freshman who's been out of the line and missed a few games, so eager to get it back to make an impact play, but he couldn't get away. 4th down.
Chris, I thought it was a blitz. They're showing it, and then they drop. They did the same thing on the other side with Rashad, and I think it affected what the offense expected. They were thinking blitz. They ran short routes to get the ball out of the hands quick by Watson, and it made it easier that time for the defense to stop him short of the 1st down. Good job of disguising and bailing.
They're going. They didn't go for a 4th and 3 early on. Missed the field goal short. Now 4th and 4, they do go for it, and we're told MJ Stewart is back in the game for the Heels. They bring pressure again. Watson complete, 1st down to the 31. That's Kane, the freshman.
And they brought in middle linebacker blitz, Andre Smith. It's a risk. I understand you want to bring pressure, but by picking it up, look at how it opens up the lane right here for DeShawn Watson. See, 56, he comes in late, and look how open that is. Jones almost got up to knock that football down, but well executed by the Tigers.
They got 8 on 4th and 4. Now they flip it to McLeod, who spins back into a big hit.
He sure did.
DeJuan Drennan, the defensive end, there to meet the freshman.
Schottmer contained it, turned him back in, and with Drennan definitely with the big hit. This defense is not getting beat to the corner. Doing a really good job with the defensive ends and the corners, not allowing the speed of Clemson to get to the edge.
Watson again takes off, shows some strength, breaks a tackle, darts down for a 1st down inside the 20 before Stewart stopped him. The whole skill set on display tonight for number 4 already.
Yeah, you're right. You know about his speed when he gets out in the open field. And he's so slender. I think that's maybe the biggest difference that I've seen from him last year as a true freshman to this year. He's much stronger than he was a year ago when he runs the football.
So 1st and goal.
Quarterback run game's a threat here.
That's been the pattern when they motion an empty backfield. It may be predictable, but it's tough to stop as Watson walks in. And Clemson reclaims the lead. You saw it, everybody sees it, but how do you stop it?
You have to follow Wayne Gallman to the outside with the motion. But when you follow him out, it clears this huge opening, and then they blitz the linebacker. There's just nobody left. See, the linebacker comes. It's picked up nicely there by Hyatt, the true freshman left tackle. But when they motion and they go empty, it makes the middle linebacker have to follow the running back out and opens it up for a very athletic DeShawn Watson.
10th rushing touchdown of the year for Watson. He's thrown his 28th touchdown pass earlier, and Lakem boots it through. 14-9 Clemson, a 96-yard touchdown drive.
Looks like, how much longer is this game taking?
He's just taking a rest. Carolina's about to get the ball back, and he'll have a little snack, and he'll get back on his feet.
Chewing a little of that grass, Les Miles style, having a little fun.
You like a quarterback that can throw for 3,200 plus and is now rushed for more than 800 yards. Watson had 60 yards rushing in that touchdown drive. And Marquise will take a knee. Logan is the back. Marquise Williams trying to get himself going, Kirk. It's been a rough start. Only 2 completions. Logan nowhere to go. Swarmed and dropped for a loss by big Shaq Lawson, the Nagurski and Lombardi finalist.
Well, he is about as good as you're going to see on the edge of a defense. Combination of power and speed. Watch him just fight through and just shed Spain rather, the left tackle. Just threw him to the side and able to get into that backfield like he's done so much this year.
Williams takes off. Weaves his way, but he'll be brought down from behind by T.J. Green. Well, like any offense, you don't want to go behind the sticks on first down against this group.
No, not at all. And I think right now the battle is being lost up front, and it's putting a lot of pressure on Williams. You know, we're halfway through the second quarter. Marquise Williams has completed 2 passes. You're talking about an offense in the last 3 games that's had 547 yards in the last 4 games. In the last 3, 53 points a game.
Other than Logan's touchdown catch, they got 44 net yards in this half. They need 12. That's on good protection, but it's incomplete. Trying to get the ball to Bug Howard, but Clemson forcing yet another 3 and out.
You know, and Marquise Williams, as talented as he is, this is the most pressure that he's felt. And third downs are very, very challenging against Clemson. You can see they didn't sack him, but they affected him enough that affected his rhythm in the pocket, where he's not settling into the pocket and making reads and feeling confident with his ability to throw. He had an open receiver that time. He just missed it.
Again, fewest 3 and outs in FBS all season, but they've had 3 straight against by far the best defense they've faced. That punt not fielded takes a great roll for Carolina all the way down to the 35-yard line.
The Carolina defense is being asked again to make plays, keep them in this game, keep the belief that they can find a way to win.
Another low snap that Watson picks up and makes a nice gain, but he and Guillermo are struggling with their communication and execution.
Yeah, we've seen the bad snap on the last series, another snap that was down low that Watson had to be kind of a short stop to go down and be athletic enough. That was a low snap, but you could see once he picks that up, he's got linemen pulling, and they outnumbered him on the edge there.
Watson still has it and still has the speed as he comes all the way across the near side, across the 40. Eric McLean, the guard, he's the first team all ACC guy. Bunch of, well, they're all bearded now. They clean shaven, some of them for this photo, but now they're all rocking the beards.
And I think Eric McLean, I don't know what he wants to get into when he's done, but if he wants to get into broadcasting, he just has that feel that he's very, very.
I think you should aim higher.
Inquisitive. If he wants to come down here to the JV and be a broadcaster, I think he has a future in that. That's my call.
He could run for office or do anything. They need 5 on third down.
Another.
Wow. Watson buying time, finds his receiver at the 32-yard line. It's incomplete. Just before he could come up with it, the ball hit the ground. That was Renfro. I thought he had Leggett open underneath.
Yeah, it sure looked like it. He had a couple guys open because he was able to buy so much time here. They rushed 3 and eventually bring a 4th. But right there, he's got down the left sideline. He's got a man open. Leggett over the middle late. You know, and even Renfro was open. I want to see if That ball just slides right through there. I thought Green might have got involved in the play, but the ball just slides right through. That would have been a great catch, but good job by Watson just trying to keep that play alive.
Uh-oh, here comes the fake. Teasdale thought about throwing it, pulls it down. He's not going to get near the marker. Malik Simmons stopped him. You wonder what the punter was thinking. Dabo doesn't know.
No, I mean, that is 4th down and forever. It was not called. I mean, he's frustrated. Look at him. He wants to know what in the world is he thinking. You know, he wanted to punt the ball off to his right, and I don't know if Teasdale just felt that he could make it on his own or what, but look at Dabo Swinney is fired up. Carolina again with outstanding field position.
Wow. 4th and 15. He just took off, and the blockers weren't expecting it. Williams delivers high again, and a flag comes in where the quarterback was hit. As the coach gets in the face of the punter.
They brought a lot of pressure. Nobody blocked.
Personal foul. Defense, number 90. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
Nobody blocked Shaq Lawson, and he got in too high. I think that's what they are looking at. Nobody blocks the best defensive end in the ACC and one of the best in the country. So it's a breakdown up front.
But they get away with it, and 15 yards are tacked on, and all of a sudden the Heels are in the red zone. What an awful sequence for Clemson. 3 false starts, the crazy fake punt attempt, and now that personal foul.
And they did a great job, Clemson did, of getting in. Pagano also in there with Lawson, but the mistake, 1st down.
Hood trying to get the corner. Dives down near the 10 before T.J. Green stopped him. Nice gain.
Let's go back to Shaq Lawson, who got in there, and he got in up above the shoulder into the head of the quarterback. You can see they don't block him. Left hand gets up around the quarterback's face mask and head, and that's the call right there.
Hood running into heavy traffic, but spins free and dives near the pylon, marked out short. But it'll be 1st and goal for the Heels, trying to cash in an attempted fake punt to a quick 6.
Great balance to keep the play alive. Boy, Hood had such power, but that time showed balance as well.
Williams rolls out, flips to the end zone, touchdown! Ryan Switzer. And the Tar Heels take the lead. And Sweeney has another angry word with his punter. Trying to make a play, but made a terrible decision, and the Tar Heels cash in as Switzer, the junior, grabs his 5th touchdown reception. We've had 4 lead changes already.
And we've been waiting for something to kind of ignite North Carolina's explosive offense, and Marquise Williams. Maybe that's exactly what they needed to get their confidence established. They were able to run Hood, and then eventually the throw by Williams to Switzer for the touchdown. But it's that balanced attack. This is where it started, where the punter, Teasdale, decides on his own 4th and long that he's going to pick up a 1st down. He's 12 yards short, so they get great field position. They run a couple times with Hood, and then it's man-to-man coverage where Switzer's able to outrun the sophomore Ryan Carter, 31, who had pretty good coverage, but the ball is well thrown out in front of Switzer, where Carter doesn't have a chance to get his hands on the football. Well thrown, the best ball of the night by Marquise Williams.
Yeah, I was going to say, Kirk, that's got to feel pretty good for him to finally get a touchdown. And then, meanwhile, Teasdale is just hoping that decision that he made isn't going to cost Clemson a conference title and a playoff bid down the line.
Imagine that.
So this is Fuller who will have a chance from the 3. He's knocked down. Excellent coverage by the Tar Heels. There's a 1st down completion. Thank you, Cassidy. A catch made by Sharon Peak. We'll have to keep an eye on Mac Hollins. Yeah. We applaud his toughness. He's on all the special teams, but he looked like he injured the shoulder.
Yeah, 6'4", 210 pounds. You'll see him all over not only the field on offense. I don't know, the shoulder there. He came over quickly, and he had a lot of pain, but he's kickoff coverage. He's on the punt team, punt coverage, everything. Every aspect, he wants to be on the field.
Off low, and Gallman makes a catch for about 7 yards.
Tempo is something that they're obviously comfortable with, and with under less than 2 minutes now, they got a couple timeouts. There needs to be a lot of urgency from the sideline, getting the play in to DeShawn Watson out to the rest of the team. So far, a little bit slow compared to what you'd expect to see from them.
Watson trying to get away, heads for the sideline, gets a first down at the 45.
You know, we're talking about Marquise Williams being a little bit unsettled. I think he really could say the same thing about DeShawn Watson when it comes to throwing the football. He's only thrown for 136 yards. Then he's had some drops, but I think the secondary from North Carolina and the plan that Gene Chizik's put together, I think they've done a good job of covering up the wide receivers, leaving DeShawn Watson nowhere to throw the football.
Sweeney still saving those timeouts. And Watson delivers in traffic. McLeod makes the catch, and the freshman knocked down inside the 25.
Yeah, they are forcing him to be patient. They're taking everything away vertically and forcing him to be able to show patience, reading the coverage, and showing he can find those open receivers underneath.
Clock moving after they get the sticks set, and that's Renfro. Now they'll probably have to spend that second timeout.
Yep.
And 24 seconds before halftime.
Yeah, they want to save that last timeout, obviously. But yeah, and that's the adjustment that I think DeShawn Watson's having to make on the fly here in the first half. They, a lot of times, have had such a great opportunity to get downfield and make big plays in their pass game because people fear DeShawn Watson and Wayne Gallman from running, so they have to load up with linebackers and safeties, and they leave their corners on islands. Tonight, that's not the case. Carolina's been holding up for the most part. I know they've given up DeShawn Watson some yards on the ground, but Wayne Gallman has had a very, very quiet first half.
2nd and 4. Watson gets it out quickly to Gallman, who gets a block. Gallman, stutter step, knocked down. No, he's not knocked down. Stretches for the goal line. Showing the drive and the relentless effort. Stewart stopped him at the 1.
Well, they finally get him some room to work with, and they're going to have to go hurry to fire it. They want to save that last timeout.
He doesn't clock the ball. Watson, it looked like they were signaling to spike the ball. 6, 5 are going to have to spend the final timeout. They didn't get that communicated to the quarterback, did they?
No. I think he has the option there to fire it, or if he thinks he can get in, take it and try to score. He gives the sign to try to get the defense to maybe fall asleep. But you go back, they finally get Wayne Gallman out with a little bit of room to run, and you can see what he's capable of doing. They're not able to run the football with him, so they say let's throw it to him out there in space and be able to have a chance to be able to make some moves and get some yards.
Watson still got the ball, flips it into the end zone for a touchdown. Sweet execution, and it is Jordan Leggett, the tight end, with his 7th touchdown reception this year. Good call, Kirk.
Yeah, and he's lined up on the inside and off the play action. What are you afraid of when you see number 4, especially with the first half that he's had? Because of his speed, right away you freeze and your eyes go to him, and you don't want to let him run the ball into the end zone. And because of the play action look and he gets to the corner, those linebackers and defensive backs were coming up to stop him from running it in, and they lost Leggett going into the corner.
They all worked out, but you can tell Dabo said, I want you to spike the ball there so we didn't have to burn the timeout. If that pass is incomplete, it's real close to 0-0 on the clock, by the way.
You're right about that.
Heels will get the ball to begin the second half, and Marquise Williams is going to try to get himself going.
Well, they got to go back to the drawing board on their passing game. They got to figure out a way to be able to combine Hood with the running. More importantly, getting the ball thrown downfield. They're losing the battle up front.
Conversation between Watson and Gallman, who had a kind of a tough first half. To Tom with Coach Fedora.
Chris, thank you. Back and forth first half. You gave up the late score there. How do you regain the momentum there?
Well, we just go back. We're getting the ball in the second half. We got to be consistent on offense, move down the field, and try to put points on the board.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thank you. Let's go to Heather.
Tom, thanks so much. Coach, after a challenge-filled first half, how do you carry the momentum of that last touchdown into the second half?
Well, first thing we got to do, we got to quit shooting ourselves in the foot. We're in 3rd and long a bunch because we're having penalties, and just, we got to get our running game going. Just a lot of mis-execution, just things that we totally are in control of. Defense is playing excellent, but my punter, I don't have an explanation. He just tried to do something on his own and put us in a bad spot, and it cost us a touchdown. But hey, end of the day, we got a lead here at the half and got another whole half to play. This is a I'm proud of our guys because we made a lot of mistakes. So we'll get in there, we'll clean up, see if we can get in rhythm and play a little better.
Dabo, thank you. I'll let you get to it.
Yeah, Andy Teasdale hopes his brain cramp will fade away and be forgotten. A 3-1 edge in yards, but just a 5-point lead. The Capital One halftime report is coming up. We're back in Charlotte, the Dr. Pepper ACC Championship game, part of Dr. Pepper's Championship Week. Interesting first half. Dr. Pepper bringing you the statistics, and in total yards, 309 to 103 edge for Clemson. The Tiger defense forcing 5 3-and-outs. The Tar Heel offense that had the fewest. So the Tar Heels trying to end that 35-year drought. There's the ACC Championship trophy. Clemson won it back in 2011. But total dominance from the Tigers, except for those mental mistakes. Carolina's going to get the ball to start the second half. How can they get the offense going? Yeah,
I think Elijah Hood has a lot to do with that. I think one way to slow down a pass rush is being able to run the football. And if they can run the ball just enough to make the defensive line and the linebackers respect it, I think it's going to allow Marquise Williams to settle in. We played a half of football, and he still looks unsure. He still looks unsettled. And I think it has everything to do with the job that Brent Venables has done getting him in that form, and it's because of that defensive line and the pressure they put on him. Larry Fedora's got to find a way to get Williams to settle in to be able to throw the football.
Lakep's kickoff drives TJ Logan into the end zone. These two back look. Quarterback keeps it, cuts back, and gains more yard on that carry than the Heels had in the entire second quarter.
Yeah, and Caleb Peterson that time, the left guard, pulled around and opened it up. He actually put a nice block on the defensive end, Kevin Dodd. And that was one of the few times we've seen a runner have a chance to get to that second and third level of the Clemson defense.
At 19 on that play. Now Hood breaks free and barrels into Clemson territory. 2 quick runs, and the Heels are threatening.
Yeah, we just talked about what do you do to be able to try to throw the ball. You got to be able to run the ball first, make them respect that. And remember, TJ Green is out of this football game. That is very, very important to remember. One of their leading tacklers.
Tigers blitz again. Williams gets protection, delivers a strike. Catch made there by Mac Hollins, and the Heels are in the red zone.
How about the offensive line? They put enough people inside to give him time, and then finally you see Mac Hollins get some separation. The linebackers blitzed, a huge void in the defense.
Williams now on the slant. Intercepted. Stepping in front of the defensive back was Tankersley, his 5th of the season.
Ball was thrown behind Davis, allowing Tankersley to catch up to it. They brought pressure, balls tipped, got behind him, and look at Tankersley again, a guy that they picked, teams picked on him early, and now you see him making plays. That ball looked like it was tipped by Curse.
How about the hands on Tankersley?
Yeah, great adjustment to the ball. Great hand-eye coordination right there. He really took it away from Davis, who has the strongest set of hands of any of the receivers from North Carolina.
And now Gallman hammers ahead, spins free, almost busted it. Gets across the 23. Finally, Gallman joining the party.
Watch the push by the left side. The left guard that time, Eric McLean, watch the double team. The push, and finally, they felt they had to control the line of scrimmage against this style of defense and run the ball, and that time they did.
This is Watson on a short gain as Gallman gained more on that carry than he had the entire evening.
I'm sure when Dabo Swinney and his offensive staff got in there in the locker room and they talked to their team, they went back to their feelings in the pregame. Guys, they're going to try to sit back and not give up the big play through the pass. We have got to be able to win the line of scrimmage and run Wayne Gallman and DeShawn Watson running the football.
This time he throws it, and Peak makes the catch and backpedals out of bounds with first down yardage at the 35.
Well, I thought Rashad might get underneath this throw, 42. He sinks in coverage, almost gets underneath that. He anticipated it well, just didn't quite have the quickness to get out there and be able to knock that ball away.
They flip it back a screen. Gallman, or Kane, I should say, in traffic. darted free, gets across midfield.
DeShawn Watson in a little bit of a groove right now with his accuracy. That's the 8th straight pass he has completed.
And Kane, who's been on a tear, really hasn't been able to bust free for a big play yet.
They tried to hit him early in the first series for a long one, but it was good coverage.
Again, this is the area where Clemson typically will take a downfield shot when they get to midfield. They flip it short, breaking free, peak. Sutter steps out of bounds. They move the sticks again, then inside the 40.
Donnie Miles missed a tackle. He had man-to-man coverage on Peak, and if he makes the play, it's 3rd and 5. Missed tackle. Peak shows you how physical he can be. He's had a great year as a blocker, and is coming on lately as a receiver. Sheds Miles and picks up the first.
It's a first down throw again. A trick play. They pitch it to Gallman, who's got the corner. Gallman tight roping, knocked out at the 10. Dominique Green made the play, but the little pitch and lateral.
You know, when I see that play, I think of Nat Moore and Tony Nathan with the Miami Dolphins against the Chargers in that epic game in the NFL. That's the exact same play. The timing was good. He saw he gets around Simmons. And again, they're doing a better job of getting him the ball in the passing game.
Gallman barrels in. Touchdown, Clemson. A 97-yard touchdown drive. 1 yard longer than their first half drive, and all of a sudden the Tigers are getting closer to that playoff.
A 96-yard drive and a 97-yard drive can really affect a defense and their confidence and their fatigue as this game wears on. The mental fatigue of 13 plays and 97 yards.
That's a great point. Mental and physical fatigue. And now Lakeup trying to make it a 12-point game. So the turnover by Williams down inside the 5-yard line. The great pick by Tankersley set up this long march.
Yeah, great play by Goodson to set up the interception there by Tankersley. And as we just said, 97 yards culminated by the touchdown by Wayne Gallman. And this offense right now starting to feel very, very confident, and they're that much closer to an undefeated season.
Clemson's second marathon touchdown march stretches the lead to a dozen now. Midway third quarter, Kirk, and now some increased urgency for an offense that's really been a big play attack all year, but not against these guys in orange tonight.
Well, not only that, now you're down 12 in the third quarter, and now you start to get in a little bit more of a predictable mode with your play calling, which allows this Clemson defense to pin their ears back that much more and come after the quarterback.
It's a high kick, and Logan's going to have a chance from the 9. Knocked down at the 25. Carolina, one of the more efficient offenses in the country. They average 3.3 points per drive, which is a real good measurement of that. But they have not faced anywhere near the quality of defense Clemson is presenting tonight. Now they try to get Hood going, but he is hit immediately. Quick penetration there, and a tackle by Christian Wilkins, the freshman.
Watch Wilkins here, 42. Watch the extension, how he's able, right here in the middle. Watch how he just kind of works and it comes off. That's the athletic ability of a big defensive lineman. It's one thing to be powerful, but the quickness, using the hands and coming down and making a play, that's big time.
You talked about this Clemson defense at times wearing down in the second half of games as Williams is trapped behind the line. But the Heels haven't run enough plays to wear anybody out.
No,
Tigers look fresh.
No, they do. They look as fresh right now as they did in the first half. And these linebackers right now have such confidence in what they're seeing. Ben Boulware and B.J. Goodson have been as active as I've seen them all year. They are trusting their reads and getting to the ball carrier in a hurry.
Tar Heels getting a little desperate here now. Inside of 6 minutes in the quarter. They need 10 on this third down.
They're all looking over to Brent Venables in the purple sweatshirt to get the call. Williams. Protection breaks down as he just throws it into the ground. Wilkins again in the quarterback's face. Fourth down. Well, again, if you're the quarterback and you're trying to figure out where to go with the football, you got a receiver that's going to go here. You've got a receiver in the switcher that's going to go right here, and you've got a receiver here. But watch the coverage. Watch him looking into this defense. And look, you've got two guys up here. This guy's got tight coverage. You got tight coverage right here. Nowhere to go for the ball, so he has to get rid of it.
Mangili. He takes off. It's Carolina's turn to fail on a fake punt. Shaquid Rashad juggled it. Each team has had an unsuccessful, ugly-looking fake punt.
And again, the execution was so poor. I can't tell if this is called or not. He leaves right away, so it makes you think it's called. But there's, I mean, you just, that play never had a chance.
Aren't punters supposed to do basically one thing?
Yeah.
Kick the ball.
Yeah.
Not run with it, not throw it.
No.
Mangili's actually not a bad athlete. In practice, they do work on a lot of fakes. That one did not work at all. And now Clemson with Gallman getting short yards on first down, really trying to put their foot down on the heels here.
Well, yeah, you're up by 12, and now you've got a chance to really separate yourself with the way the Clemson defense has been playing. Larry Fedora rolled the dice. He's got to realize that if by not converting there, and you give DeShawn Watson in this offense a chance to put more points on the board, the way the Tigers are playing defense, it's going to be tough.
Watson rolling out, looking for Scott. Touchdown, Tigers. That's the DeShawn Watson deep ball you expect to see, and Clemson pulling away.
He gets a matchup against a safety. Miles, watch him get his foot down. What focus, Bartavis Scott, left foot, throws the right foot down for good measure. Touchdown, Tigers. What a throw from the Heisman hopeful DeShawn Watson. Just an amazing effort there to go up and make that catch.
First team all ACC receiver.
Getting a hug there from Taj Boyd.
Former quarterback to current one. Dan Redikovich, the athletic director for Clemson, is part of that committee, so no doubt he's dialed in tonight. He's got to leave the room when they talk about the Tigers, but there'll be a pretty short conversation about the Tigers. Yep. In fact, there may not be a whole lot to talk about when it comes to the top four.
There's always
we only got 4 hours.
About.
Is it 4 hours tomorrow?
Yeah, I think 4, yeah.
DJ Logan.
Got a lot of bowl games.
Out across the 40-yard line. And now we'll see if Williams can get on track here and turn that into points. Trying to begin this comeback. Play action. Quarterback steps up again, has lots of room to run, tucks it, and runs out at the 26.
You know, Goodson and Boulware have been very active tonight. Watch them right up the middle. Good job picked up by Hood. Now go. You got to go. The linebackers are cleared out. You've got all that space. You got athletic ability. Take off. That's why that time Williams saw it. But a good job by picking up the blitz there by Elijah Hood to free him up.
Williams delivers over the head of Logan. He has overthrown so many passes tonight, Kurt. Adrenaline, or who knows?
Well, you're talking about a guy that's completed 64% of his passes this year. He has played for 3 or 4 years as a starter. I think he wants this so bad. He wants to play so well. This is his hometown. This is a chance to put an exclamation point to his career. I think he's just pressing. He's just not comfortable. He's 5 now. How many? 5 completions on the night, 21 attempts.
Chucks it downfield, and finally, Quickshaw Davis gets involved. A catch down inside the 5. Beautiful throw that time.
That was a perfectly thrown ball. What you kind of expect from him. Tankersley, this is about as good a coverage as you can have from the Clemson corner into the boundary, but the ball is thrown to the outside shoulder, and the sure-handed Davis holds on to it.
First and goal. Hood bangs down near the goal line. Tar Heels desperately needed the defense to make a play to set up a quick score. And lining up quickly on second and goal. Quarterback kept it and cannot get free. Was trying to reach the ball for the goal line. Could not escape because Shaq Lawson had him wrapped up.
Shaq Lawson makes the play, but the rest of that defensive line was able to get down low, and Williams had nowhere to go with that football.
They've been stubborn on these short yardage situations all season long, have the Tigers. Think about the stop on the 2-point conversion tried by Notre Dame that would have forced overtime. Made a big stop against the Seminoles this season.
I think you've got to get to the outside. You've got to give the athletic Williams a chance to run it or throw it on the edge of the defense.
Got to hurry. Breaking the huddle with just 5 on the play clock. Quarterback keeps it. Barrels into the end zone.
That's exactly what you like to see. Get him to the outside where he has a chance. Defense attacks down. It's a one-on-one chance against Van Smith, who stayed at home, the safety. Remember, the true freshman, 23, who's in for T.J. Green, and the senior goes over top of the freshman for the touchdown.
So the tremendous interception by Jones, cashed in by the Heels, who marched 42 yards in 6 plays in just a minute 44.
And the way this Carolina offense can score, they're saying, hey, guys, we're back in this. That's what you're saying if you're on the sideline of Marquise Williams.
12-point game, late 3rd quarter. Hold on. So now, DeShawn Watson off an interception, back to work, protecting what is now a 12-point lead. The Heels just felt, Kirk, if they could get it into the 4th quarter, hang around long enough, maybe make the Tigers sweat with that #1 ranking, the playoff position on the line, they'd like their chances. Fuller. And C.J. Fuller knocked down at the 20.
We were at Indianapolis this morning for game day, and their fan base, they were believing. They felt their team had something to prove tonight.
Gallman breaks free. Gallman into the secondary and run out near midfield. Finally, Gallman really beginning to bust loose here in the 3rd quarter.
Follows the tight end Leggett, who's going to come over. Watch the little jump cut here. Watch him right there, the little stutter step, and then he's able to pick up just enough time there. Set up the block perfectly by the tight end Leggett, and then again, there's the speed.
Yep, gives it to Gallman, who picks his way for a 1st down and more down near the 30, and what'll be the final play of the 3rd quarter.
How about him coming in on a 3rd down? Wayne Gallman gets the yards, and the left side of that offensive line with Hyatt and McLean responsible for opening that up.
So the quarterback still being looked at. The Tigers head to the final quarter, up by a dozen. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. We're back. The Dr. Pepper ACC Championship game, part of Dr. Pepper Championship Week, beginning of the final quarter. #1 ranked Clemson marching and up a dozen. Repe Booth told us, Kurt, they did Booth reviewed that play in which Watson was shaken up. They said he was down before the ball came out. And he's back out there to start this final quarter. Gives the ball to Gallman, who's now rushed for 113 yards, plus a career-high 68 receiving yards after a very slow start. Had 3 big runs here in this half.
Yeah, it was surprising in that first half. The only running that Clemson was able to do was when Deshaun Watson, the quarterback, run. That and some big plays through the air. But you're right, the second half, they're starting to assert themselves a little bit better, and you're seeing Gallman having a little bit more room to run, and he's made some people miss, which has also helped him get those big gains.
Gallman again takes off, hammers down inside the red zone.
He looks fresh to me too. You know, he had an ankle against Wake Forest, but he's running with a kind of an attitude right now in his 4th quarter.
I agree. Had a fumble against South Carolina. Didn't have a great game, but you're right. He's on point tonight.
He sure is. I mean, when he does get some room, it's like he's been cooped up. He wants to get involved, and when he has had room, he sure is. He's accelerating. Again, known for power, but has great suddenness and quickness.
Dabo said he could have played against Wake. Maybe it's a good thing. You get your back, kind of keep him fresh. You win without him. And now he comes back ready to roll. DeShawn tried to get it back to Renfro, but there was heavy traffic, so he just threw it low.
I had to throw it low because you had 2 North Carolina players waiting, Drennan 17 and also Jones, who already has an interception. They went out there on that flanker screen, and if he would have thrown it to Peak, they would have been intercepted by Drennan, and more likely, Chris, it would have been a foot race between Drennan and Watson.
Watson takes off again. Gallman throws a block. Quarterback dives for a nice gain. It'll be 3rd and short.
Really like to see, after that injury where he went out, like to see him back and running the football. And if you looked at the first 6 games, they didn't run him that much. Only 9 carries a game for 39 yards on average. In the last 6 games, 13 carries, 87 yards a game. And we saw last week against South Carolina, he carried it 21 times for 114 yards. And again tonight, already 19 carries for 119 yards. So he has become a big part of their running game along with Wayne Gallman.
On 3rd and 4. Around the end. Gallman. 1st and goal. Gallman, who's still a little bit raw as a running back, but has that toughness.
Watch the 2 guards pulling out. They do a good job of just being able to kind of get in the way and slowing people in their pursuit down, but it was the block by Thompson, the freshman, that sealed the edge and just seemed to open that up for Wayne Gallman. And there's that speed again. Easily gets to the corner and picks up the 1st down.
So after the deflected pick is cashed in for a touchdown by the Tar Heels, Clemson just goes right back to work with this running game. But the quarterback keeps it, and why not just gallop in the end zone? Take a bow, DeShawn. Now a restrained celebration. Just a little bit of a mini dab there as Clemson stretches the lead back out. What a drive, Kurt.
Yeah, another great drive. They have put together some long drives. You're used to seeing them score, and usually they can score in a hurry. 11 plays that time at 80 yards, and the play ends up being a zone read where he reads it perfectly. The defensive end, Bart, collapsed down on Brooks. He pulled it and walks into the end zone.
Good news is that Laker, back kicking the PATs, has been perfect tonight. Well, over 500 yards for the 9th consecutive game. Tigers getting closer to the playoff. So DeShawn Watson now with a career high 121 rushing yards. He's thrown for 289 and 3 touchdowns. And Clemson is back up by 19. Logan along the sidelines trying to work free, but he's penned in and hammered hard across the 25. Big 3rd and 6. Williams in the pocket, delivers to a wide open receiver, and Quinshot Davis has running room. A mess up in the secondary, and they're down inside the 30.
Well, I think the motion in the formation confused Clemson. You see right here, you've got 3 guys. Everybody goes in a different direction, and they end up picking on Ryan Carter, who's a backup corner. He gets lost in coverage.
They get 40 yards. They play quickly, and now pass zipped down inside to Brandon Fritz. And the freshman tight end from Ohio takes it inside the 5.
Good quick read, and he throws it on a rope. An absolute laser is exactly how he had to throw it between the corner to the right and the safety in the middle of the field. Nice read and quick throw.
It's Elijah Hood, like his quarterback, playing in his hometown, and a pretty quiet night so far. He's got it this time. Gets away from Boulware and dances into the corner of the end zone, and the Heels still have some life.
Boy, he's got some acceleration himself. We've talked all night about Wayne Gallman, but Elijah Hood, powerful back at 220 pounds. He's going to come right at you here. Time John Heck, the right tackle, pulled and kind of helped steal the edge. See him in the background. There's pylon cam. Nice block there by 71, the right tackle Heck, and look out down there.
17th rushing touchdown this year for Hood. That's 2 away from the Carolina record.
They're just kind of hanging around. They're not going away.
Lead is back to a dozen. 9:54 left. This is Tigers fans, as they always do, coming out in force, buying up a lot of tickets, and they can book plans for Miami perhaps if they can close this out, but the Heels are hanging around. Fuller misplays it, and now it'll be a touchback. Gallman cuts it back. Gallman has space. Big gain down inside the 35.
You're right about Wayne Gallman running the ball. What you love to see And when Peak blocks 19, it's watch to the left. Watch Ron Peak block. Talk about him being an unselfish guy. He's become better known for his blocking as he is as a receiver. The only guy that's been around that played in 2011 on that ACC Championship team, came in with Sammy Watkins, has been through a lot with some injuries, really put it together this year and having an outstanding senior year.
I love it when you salute receivers who make blocks on the edge. The dirty work of that position,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Gallman again. Just running downhill hard. 9 more for the Tigers.
I mentioned earlier, I don't know if I've seen him run with such conviction as he's run here in this second half. I think he was frustrated with the way the first half went. Could not get loose. And in this second half, the line doing a better job, but I'm telling you, he's just running through arm tackles. He could have been stopped there for maybe a 3 or 4 yard gain, but instead picks up 8 or 9.
You know, guys work with him is Terry Allen, the former Clemson great, and he was NFL stud, had almost 9,000 rushing yards in his career. And Tony Elliott, who was the co-offensive coordinator, is the running backs coach, but he's calling the plays, and it's really Terry Allen has had played an instrumental role in Gallman's improvement this year. He's got it again on the option pitch and is down inside the 15. And what a role model, Terry Allen. He was drafted 241st out of college.
Yeah.
Willed himself to be a great player.
It does a good job of working with these players, not only on how to be a great running back, but the humility that you carry yourself with, which is exactly how Wayne Gallman plays the game. How about that speed option? You're a defensive end, and you got DeShawn Watson coming downhill right at you. You got to make up your mind. Are you going to take him away, or are you going to go to the pitch back? Take away DeShawn Watson. He deals it to Gallman, and he picks up about another 15 yards.
Gallman said, just feed me again. And they do. Back to the boundary. Earns about 4 yards.
When you talk to the Clemson coaches and you watch them, you know, in the past it's been about Sammy Watkins and the C.J. Spillers of the world, and getting the ball on the edge, the passing game, and Taj Boyd. And I think this year you can really see the confidence that they have in the offensive line and the running game. It's no longer just about the perimeter. It's about the physicality and running the football with Gallman and DeShawn Watson. What's ironic about that is the concern when this season started was the line. 5 new starters on this offensive line, and they've become a real strength for this team.
Gallman again picks his way. This is a slow death for Carolina as he gets down near the first down marker. It'll be 3rd and short.
And this offensive line in this system isn't asked to, you know, get down in a 3-point stance and blow people 5-7 yards off the ball. Old school style of football like you might see with Stanford or Wisconsin. This is more of just kind of get a hat on a hat, cover a guy up, and let Wayne Gallman kind of find the hole. And he has such great vision and quickness that you don't have to blow people off the ball. Just like I said, cover him up and let him do the rest.
This time it's Watson rolling out, keeping it. He is dropped for a loss. Kason Collins, the linebacker, was there, and it's 4th down.
Heck of a play there by Collins.
Tried to get Watson his 3rd rushing touchdown. He's also rushed for over 100 yards, 122 to complement Gallman. On 4th down, you know, so they took a delay of game to move it back, and now Greg Hugel, who missed early from 47 with this 27-yarder, and the reliable kicker knocks it right through. So Clemson, get ready, fire up the pizza ovens, and get ready for the playoff. Up by 15. Tar Heels will get the ball back down 15 after the chip shot field goal. Touchdown would have erased any hope. But there's still a 2-score game in theory. And don't want a big return, so they just boot it along the ground. Eventually picked up at the 25. And Romar Morris is knocked down. Boy, Herschel Walker's single-season SEC rushing record fell today. Just a monster afternoon again for Derrick Henry as Alabama secures the SEC, and you'd believe a playoff spot. Stanford beat USC for the second time. They win the Pac-12, but the bad news is they needed a Clemson loss to make a case.
Probably well, they are headed to the Rose Bowl now.
But how about that penalty? A dead ball sets the heels up at midfield, and now Williams scampers for 5. That's just inexcusable. There've been a lot of those tonight for Clemson.
And it's a freshman, Mark Fields, who's from Charlotte. Hadn't been playing a lot, and Dabo Swinney again. I mean, he's been working a few of those players over when they make mental mistakes. That's all you can do as a coach, and then get in the film room and hope they learn. But even his teammates are trying to calm him down. Fields is a freshman. Only chance he gets is special teams.
Williams pressured. Hit as he throws. Jump ball was over the head. And the receiver there, Alexander, was in coverage. They're not showing a lot of urgency for being down 15 in the last 2 minutes here.
No, and they better find somebody to help Bentley Spain, the left tackle, because 90 in orange, he's a handful, as we've seen all year. Shaq Lawson again gets the pressure and gets in from the blind side to affect Marquise Williams.
Needs 6 on this third down. They pick up the pressure this time, and Williams delivers, but over the head of Mac Hollins, who was open across the middle. It's 4th down. Ford wrap-up follows the game, and this is it for Carolina to keep any hope alive. Got to get the 6 yards.
And again, they've got to do, I don't know if they're going to chip with a tight end to help. Got to do something to slow down the pressure from the blind side of Williams.
Do you blitz if you're Venables? You keep coming after the quarterback?
Well, that's been effective, but right here's the guy that they've got to watch.
Now they rush only 4. Williams has room, has a 1st down, and a lot more weaving down in the red zone. 1.5 to play, and the heels are threatening.
Wow, interesting. Boulware blitzed, but they played man-to-man under, and they lost the quarterback. And because of that speed, he picks up huge yards.
The chains weren't even set, and the heels are playing. And Williams throwing for the end zone. Working on Alexander over there was Davis. 2nd down.
The chains are set. Balls are being snapped. What's going on?
Those guys over there were hustling as they could down the sidelines, and the heels are ready to go.
They're not slowing down for anything. That ball gets spotted. They're ready to roll.
There's urgency now. But Davis has to come all the way across the field and off.
It's to have all 3 timeouts. If they can score without using them, it becomes interesting. Got to figure Clemson, if they get the ball back, runs 3 times. They need to save all 3 of those timeouts.
Williams delivers short. Catch made. Switzer escapes and scores. And hold on. The heels cut into the lead.
Go back to the unsportsmanlike penalty by Mark Fields on the kickoff. Gave him great field goal range, gave him life. And how about Switzer? Tough little guy, 5'10", 185 pounds, electric. And another mental error cost Dabo Swinney. They had this game put away.
Weiler for the PHC to make it an 8-point game. Knocks it through. That took only a minute 1 to cover the 49 plays.
49 yards because of the penalty on the kickoff return.
So now, having those 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep and play defense? The Tigers are expecting an onside kick.
You got to kick an onside kick.
They've tried a couple. Weiler has not succeeded this year. But all of a sudden, you're right, this game looked to be completely over. They got the stop and forced the field goal attempts.
Clemson at times tonight their own worst enemy.
You've got a couple kickers in there, so who's going to end up booting it? There's deception right here. Gets the hop. It was mishandled. Ball is still bouncing around. And the heels have it in midfield. A flag did come in.
I think it's offsides on North Carolina.
Offsides, kicking team, 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
So take away the recovered onside kick. It was Freeman Jones, the kicker, who came in there and booted, and it was recovered, but they're going to have to re-kick it now.
I want to see where this offsides is. because I didn't see it.
I didn't either.
Dave,
let's take another look from this angle.
30's the closest, but he's not offsides. Nobody's offsides unless it was on the other side. Unless it was from the other side.
That shot doesn't show, to me, doesn't show anybody offside.
Nobody's offsides. Flag will come from the bottom. Nobody's offsides. It looked like Hunter Crawford, the linebacker. Dave, is that reviewable?
That is not a reviewable play.
Wow.
All right. The 30's the closest, but I have to agree with you. I don't see a clear offsides there.
Crawford was number 30, the linebacker.
Neither did Fedora. Wow.
Oh, my God.
That took a hop. It looked like it was mishandled by the Tigers, recovered at the 50, and the Heels with 3 timeouts.
Oh,
and a minute and 11 would have been in business. The same look on this onside kick. This time it's Weiler, and this one's fielded. The hit made. It didn't go 10 yards, but the ball came out. A scramble now back at the 30. Orange ball. You can read the lip of the officials, and Clemson has recovered, but not without another adventure on that attempt.
Wow. That's a shame.
Now, this guy's got a running start on the previous attempt, Kirk, and maybe the official just anticipated it was going to be offside, but it wasn't a correct call. Here's the second one.
Wow, they go to the other side. Oh, a great hit there by the linebacker, Schottmer. Ball is loose, and now it's just, I thought Elijah Hood might get on top of it. Switzer's right there.
Renfro at the bottom of the pile, I think, is going to get credited with the recovery. It didn't go 10, but it was played, so you can hit the guy there.
I still want to go back to the first one, Chris. Maybe we're missing something. Let's check again.
No.
There's nobody offsides.
Not even really within a yard.
No.
Timeout.
So that call, not reviewable, would have given North Carolina the football at the 50, down 8. Watson. A couple of guys miss and just needs to protect the ball more than gain yards as the Heels will spend a timeout. So we know the 4 teams, or at least we think we do.
What the suspense is, who's going to play who and where.
Well,
I mean, that's still interesting.
And I've wondered from the start, because of the fluidity of the rankings near the end of the process last year, whether or not they might move some teams around as Gallman fights for a yard. You know, they would never say that matchup manipulation is part of the equation, but if you start moving teams, moving Clemson down, for example, or Alabama up, or not having the Big Ten team in that 4th spot, they could be accused of trying to adjust the matchups for whatever reason. I guess the bigger question would be, do they flip Alabama over Clemson? Or if you keep Clemson at number 1, they would be placed down to the Orange Bowl New Year's Eve against the number 4 seed. Top seed being giving geographic preference. Watson's got to keep her around the left side and just dives down at the 20, and that will do it. Not without some drama and a little controversy at the end with that phantom offsides call. But it looks like the player of the year in the ACC is going to be the quarterback of the ACC champions. The Dr. Pepper unrivaled player of the game. Not much suspense there. 421 total yards, 5 touchdowns responsible for. Victory formation as the Tigers are going to win their 16th in a row. Next up, New Year's Eve in the playoff, or the champions of the ACC. Go win it all, said Fedora to Sweeney. Disappointment again for Marquise Williams. Losses bookending the Tar Heels season here in Charlotte. And the quarterback just 11 of 33.
Go win it all. We'll be pulling for you. All right.
Class, Larry Fedora.
And now Heather, once again with Dabo Sweeney, it's become a familiar ritual.
It's a bit of a tradition for the two of us, indeed, Dabo. Congratulations, Coach. You told me that last year you had to sit and watch this one on TV, and it was the ultimate frustration. You vowed that it would be you this year. How good does it feel to fulfill that goal?
Well, it feels great. You know, this division, you know, we've lost one game the last 2 years and hadn't been able to make it to the championship. Got to go undefeated to get to our championship. So just proud of our guys, man. 13-0. You know, in 1992 when I was playing, that was good enough for the national championship, but not anymore. All it does is get us a chance to go play for it. But, man, what a great game. That's what college football is all about. Hey, North Carolina, goodness gracious. Man, I'm glad that's over. I'm glad that's over. Great effort on their part. Just our team has had heart and guts all year long. I mean, they have found ways to win, whether it's a big turnover, a big play. We got the best player in this conference and the best player in the country in DeShawn Watson. I think he proved that again tonight. But at the end of the game, our offensive line took the game over. I don't know what we ran for, but it was a bunch. We ran a ton of plays, had some mistakes, and then our defense, you know, had a couple of big turnovers, none bigger than that last one right there at the end to give us the ball back. But what a great win. Happy for Tiger Nation, 13-0. And we're looking forward to a pizza party tomorrow in Death Valley, baby.
Yeah, you made a promise. You're definitely going to have to keep that. Coach, you talk about being undefeated. You're #1 in the nation. Now you're ACC champs. What are you the most proud of?
I'm just proud of our team and our staff for coming together. You know, you don't accomplish things like this without a great belief in one another and a love for one another. And these guys, you know, I told them tonight they already had won this game. They won it, you know, from January till right now. And tonight was just go take care of business. But a group of winners, and listen, man, I'm just fortunate to be a part of it. You know, good Lord has planted me here in Clemson and given me the opportunity to lead these young men and a great staff, and I'm thankful for that. It's been a special season, but we ain't done yet. We still got a little more in us, but this was a lot of fun tonight. All
right, so Dabo, I'm going to give you the chance to make your case to the committee on where you should be ranked tomorrow.
Well, we got 3 top 10 wins. Anybody else got that? I don't think so, and we're 13-0. Can't do no better than winning them all. Nobody made it easy on us either, so that ought to be an easy decision for them. So we'll look forward to figuring out where we're going to go and who we're going to go play, and we'll give our players off next week. Got a lot of recruiting to go do as the ACC champs for the 15th time, and we'll keep rolling.
All right, Coach, congratulations.
Next up, New Year's Eve for the Tigers. They hope in Miami as the top seed. Well, exhale and get ready for tomorrow at noon Eastern time when ESPN will have the reveal of those semifinal matchups. This game was produced by Bill Bonnell, directed by Derek Mobley. We thank our fine, talented, dedicated crew all season long. We'll see you the next time from one of those semifinals on New Year's Eve. For Kirk, Tom, and Heather, Chris Fowler saying good night from Charlotte. The Ford wrap-up show is coming up next. Trophy presentation over on ESPN3.